What's up, guys? I'm Ace of Clubs Kid, and today I'm going to be making a video on Android phones versus iPhones. I've been wanting to do a video like this for a really long time, and I've never really sat down and tried to make one that was really level-headed and not just like a rant on either phone. I myself do like Androids, and currently I have a Galaxy S3, so I'm pretty behind in the phone world. But I do have a S5 coming on the way. I have my case here, but no actual phone yet. But anyways, what I've done is I've gone and written out the prices, the lowest prices I've seen for each phone that you'd actually want to buy. You know, not just like some really crappy Android phone or like the first iPhone or anything like that. Like basically one that you would actually be able to use real world. And I've written out the two that I believe are the two strongest phones in competition for the iPhone 6 Plus and the iPhone 6, which are the Nexus 6 and the Galaxy S5. They're similarly priced, and they have, well, we'll just get into the specs in a little bit, but first of all, I'm going to try and have as little of a slant as possible. Price for an Android phone, you can get an Android phone that has the same specs as like a Galaxy S3 for, I actually just found it yesterday, as low as $90. That's pretty, it's not that powerful. I mean, granted, that is not the kind of phone that's going to be, you know, you're going to be whizzing around multitasking, doing all this stuff, but if you're using it just day to day for basic things, you want to play games every once in a while, not use a ton of processing power or anything like that, it'll get the job done, it'll be fine. That's no contract, by the way. That is not with a contract. You can just go on Amazon, buy one for $90. And they go all the way up to about $700 for the Galaxy Note 4, which is pretty comparable to the 6 Plus. And yeah, that's pretty much the highest one I've seen, except for the Note Edge, which costs around $1,000, and it has kind of like this experimental technology in it, so didn't exactly count that one because it's so far from the other prices. Anyways, if you want to get an iPhone, you can get one on Amazon. I've got both of these prices from Amazon. From as low as $550 for an iPhone 5C, which is still pretty usable today. A 4 is a little bit old, so yeah, I went with a 5C, and as much as $900 if you get the iPhone 6 Plus. Moving on, the Nexus 6 versus the iPhone 6 Plus. We're going to be talking just straight facts, and I got these facts from Phone Arena and Gizmag, so you can go ahead and check me on these. It's all right there. The Nexus 6 has 3 GB of RAM as opposed to the iPhone 6 Plus's 1 gig. RAM, just in layman's terms, basically is how much information can be kind of thrown at the processor. It's what's able to be like fed into the processor. You can imagine it like that. So a great example is like when you have to go and close your apps because your phone is being really slow. You close all your apps in the app drawer. If that's because you don't have enough RAM for like to complete a task, or it's just slugging along because you're only working with a little bit, maybe half of your phone's potential. So with the Nexus 6, you can do a lot more multitasking, and even one of the things, or actually, no, I'm sorry, I'm getting confused. Basically, yeah, you don't really have to close your apps as much, and just in general, the phone will be faster. It doesn't necessarily mean it'll be 3 times faster, but it does mean that you have more memory to work with. Processing-wise, it has a 2.7 GHz quad-core processor, as opposed to the 6 Plus's 1.4 GHz dual-core processor. Again, this doesn't mean it's twice as fast, but it certainly means it's going to be faster. Processor obviously processes a task. It's like the brain of the phone. Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. Certainly, if you're going to be doing things that are a lot more intense, honestly, I'm not really one of those people that uses their phone for like everything, in place of a computer. But if you're doing a lot of tasks that require a lot of processing power, like, I don't know, maybe you're editing a lot of big pictures, playing a lot of games, whatever, anything like that, and you want to get, like, you're noticing stutters on your phone, maybe that's why you want to get a new one, you're probably going to want to look at something that has a better processor. And the Nexus 6 certainly has a good one. The prices of the devices are... Oh, I just accidentally rhymed. The Nexus 6 Plus... Okay, I'm just going to call them the 6 and the 6 Plus from now on, because this is getting way too confusing. The 6 is $650, that's the Nexus. The 6 Plus is $750. Both of those are prices without a contract. The 6 has a bigger battery, and that's just kind of like a general fact. It has about 300 more milliamps, which it's not going to be like a ton more. It depends completely on how much you're using it. I'm not going to quantify it and say that's like another hour or 2 hours or anything like that, but bigger battery. It's also more powerful though, so you may end up like eating through more battery. The iPhone 6 Plus does have the nice feature of being able to be used with one hand. It has a specific feature for that, which I do like. I think that's a good thing to add when you have such a big phone. You know, you can't realistically hold that and do everything with one hand unless you have a specialized feature, so that's smart. What did I write down here? Oh yeah, the display is better. This is one of those things where some people like to debate back and forth, but honestly, if you look at the actual pixel density, it's as simple as like when you see like 8-bit, for example, and then you jump to like HD, like that has to do with pixel density. And when you compare them side by side, the Nexus 6 is better. It has a higher pixel density. I think it's only about 30 pixels per inch, so it's not like it's going to be drastically better, but if you are looking for the best picture possible, that's going to be your best bet. Moving right along to the S5 versus the iPhone 6, we have hold on just a second. I wrote this down a little bit. Let me check my facts real quick. I want to be putting out the right info. Ah, dang it, my keyboard's over there. Whatever. Okay, so I got this here. So the Galaxy S5 has twice the camera quality of the iPhone 6. Again, this is a resolution thing, so pretty quantifiable. It's just, it has a higher resolution. It's got a 0.4-inch larger screen, the S5 does, than the iPhone 6. It has a better front camera as well. You do also get 4K 30 frames per second video recording. Personally, completely honest, I don't think it's that practical to try and record 4K video on a camera or on a phone. It takes up so much memory, and it's such a big file, and especially when you have just any time that you're using a camera. God, I keep saying camera. Phone. Anytime you're using a phone, you're not really able to hold it that steady, and if you can't hold it steady, you might as well just not be recording it in 4K, because it's better to have a 1080p video that is completely steady like this. This is actually going to be like 720p, rather than having like a really shaky 4K video. That's just my opinion, though. It has a 2.5 gigahertz processor, which I believe is also quad-core. I didn't write that down, though. As opposed to the iPhone 6's 1.4 gigahertz dual-core processor. Again, same thing. Doesn't necessarily mean it's twice as fast, but it does mean it's going to be faster. And it also has the S5 has wireless charging capabilities. What this means is, I'll just show you here on my S3, because it is effectively the same thing. They're not exactly the same. Again, this is my S3, this is not an S5, but you see these little pins here? For about $10, I can buy this little flat pad that it can go underneath the phone cover. It can go on here, and then I put my cover back on, and then if I buy a little wireless charging pad, again, that's about $10, so that any time that I put my phone onto that wireless charging pad, just placing it on, it will start charging, which is pretty nice. It's a nice feature. Like I said, though, that's going to cost at least $20 extra, but it's still nice to have the ability. And what did I write here? Oh yeah, the battery on here is on the iPhone 6 is not as big as the Galaxy S5s. So again, another reason that I like the S5. So those are a couple of actual facts that I got right from reliable sources, and that is why I personally like Android phones more. You guys can feel free to put your comments down below. Just this video is already getting pretty long, but just before I go, I want to add that I know some people say that iPhones are they just feel that they're faster, they're more seamless, they're more easy to use than Android phones, despite whatever facts might be on a piece of paper. And there is some validity to that. A lot of apps are optimized to be used with, for iPhones. They're developed for iPhones, and generally they're ported over for Android later. And because there's so many different Android phones, they don't all work with the, they aren't always the most effective. It's almost like when you have a PC game that gets ported over to an Xbox or a PS3 or PS4. You don't always see the best quality because it's not exactly optimized. So there's definitely an element of that. It's true. It really just depends on what you're using. If you really don't want to put any time to learning how your phone works or little extra features, honestly, you're probably not going to get a lot out of having an Android. They are generally cheaper. They can be a lot more powerful, but if you want to have just your basic apps and have them work and not have to worry about any sort of customizing, iPhone might be the best for you. If you want to have little things like, I'll show you again here in my S3, you can change around your home screen. You can have as few or as many apps as you want, well, not as many, but as few apps as you want on the home screen. I have little widgets here, this is my Google search bar. Let me try and get over. This is my assistive light. This is going to be really bright. This turns on like flashlight. Sorry, that was really bright, but that's just a mono audio thing that I have. So if I have earbuds on and one of them died, I can just take the other earbud out and all the audio would be going into one. And then I also have my alarm on here. All of that's on my home screen, which I really like. The customizability is nice. And to be fair, actually learning how to use an Android phone isn't rocket science. It just takes a little bit more time than an iPhone. I'd say most people could probably learn how to use it without too much difficulty if they really, sit down and play with it for a little bit. It's not that complicated. A lot of similar features, especially with iOS 8. It's relatable, like just the swipe down, you get all your notifications, you have your basic settings up here. If I swipe this up again, if I swipe down with 2 fingers, I basically get all my controls for Bluetooth, screen rotation, all that. The S3 has a lot less features here, but the S5 and S4, and really any other newer Android phone is going to have a lot more features there. So those are just some basic things. Some side-by-side comparisons. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, comments, concerns, rants, complaints, not racist comments, please post them below. Thanks, and I'll see you guys later.